this season, if you're judging the Hawks, you're like, in this game, it feels like for the season to be a success, like it's not the end of it, but it felt like a really important moment. And yet again, they show up and figure out a way to win it. And you said that. I was feeling that. I think everybody else was watching the game. But the irony of Cal and Self being 1-1 and those being championship games to play for the national championship, it still had that feel last night in the first round. That's what the NCAA tournament is. That was a great game to watch, and congratulations to Arkansas.
You could feel it in the building, just as you said, and I'm sure people watching on television could feel it. I mean, it was a heavyweight-type fight. And, you know, Arkansas knocked them around for a little bit, and Kansas comes back, and, hey, we were all worried. I mean, everybody was worried. Anybody that says they weren't worried wearing Razorback Red's not telling the truth. I mean, it got dicey. But, man, they just made plays down the stretch. That's what you have to do to win NCAA tournament.
In a thriller, it's Calipari over Self, and Arkansas to the second round. That was just an unbelievable game.
It sure was. I mean, just an unbelievable game. What a fun game to watch. And, Chuck, Arkansas, we keep seeing it. I mean, they faced adversity down the stretch again. They could have easily wilted. And I think many Razorback fans were thinking that, man, you've had this whole game and you just let it get away. An 11-point lead turns into a 3-point deficit. And then you go on a 7-0 run to finish it off. All the way down to the end when they couldn't get the ball in bounds, this team never panicked.
No, they didn't. And I thought that was, that was a real key over the course of the last couple of minutes. I mean, you think about what happened. You know, Kansas comes back and gets the lead. Arkansas is up by 1 after that. Nelly hit the 3 to put them up 71-67. Gave you a little breathing room, but not over. They went 8 of 8. Pardon me, from the free throw line the rest of the way. That's how they got to 79 there at the end. And just pressure performances at the end of the game. And, by the way, if you went to bed like the rest of us, not knowing what time they were going to play on Saturday, it's going to be 1:40. It's going to be an afternoon game, our time on CBS. And you think some people aren't going to be watching John Calipari and Rick Pitino? I got to tell you, when we were wrapping it up last night after the game, North Carolina's coming on the floor. Or not North Carolina, St. John's coming on the floor, and they're going through their warm-ups, and I'm watching them. And I knew Pitino would wait until the very last moment before he came out.
Make an entrance.
But, you know, what's striking now is, you know, coaches don't wear suits anymore. Pitino wears one. I think the coach at Missouri, Dennis Gates, wears one. But generally the staff does not. All these guys. I mean, even the managers are wearing $1,000 suits. I don't know. Maybe they have an NIL budget too. I don't know. But, man, those guys, they came to the floor decked out. And St. John's kind of struggled for a half, but I went to sleep, but I guess they put them away in the second half.
Yeah, I tried to watch the second half, and it got ugly, and I just I turned it off. And, we'll get into this matchup. But let's talk about the KU win first.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Arkansas looked so good to start the game. And you just have to take a moment and be happy for Jonas Aidoo. This guy's had such a difficult year. We talked about it earlier in the week when I did a hog pod with him, which I encourage you to go hear his story. But he didn't even think he was going to get to play this year. I mean, that foot was so bad, his surgery, and he wasn't getting better, and you saw him try to play some, and when he was out there, he didn't look anything like the all-SEC player he was the year before. But the last 4 games, he's had, 12 or 14 points or more in all of these games. He's had like 5 double-doubles down the stretch. And last night, playing Hunter Dickinson, who averages about 18 a game. The guy averages a double-double and started the game on fire. By the way, Kansas started the game on fire. They couldn't miss. But Aidoo just hung around the entire game, matched Dickinson blow for blow, and got the better of him. 22 points, played 39 minutes. Dickinson ends the game with 11 points, like 7 below his average, his fewest since January 15th.
He scored his last basket with a little over 8 minutes to play in the first half. He made 2 free throws at the 7:17 mark. I've got this written down. He made 2 free throws at the 7:17 mark of the first half, and he didn't score after that. And this is a guy that's a 2-time All-American. I mean, we're not just talking 2-time All-Big 12, although there's nothing wrong with that. This guy averages a double-double, as you said, and I thought early in the game it was going to be Hunter Dickinson against the Razorbacks. I think he scored their first 5 points, maybe their first 7 of their first 9. He was the dominant player on the floor until the first TV timeout, and that's when the adjustment started. And I thought one thing was critical last night, too. They made Hunter Dickinson work. They made him run the floor. He's a big guy. Jonas is in much better basketball shape than Hunter Dickinson is. I thought they ran him ragged. And in the second half, Adu dominated. I mean, he didn't just get the better of him. He dominated him. And I thought that was one of the real keys in the ball game was after Dickinson began fast, he was never really a factor after about that 12 or 13-minute mark of the first half.
Jonas Adu after the game.
I knew it was going to be a big matchup from the jump, and I know how to take that one personal, so definitely had to help the team out for sure.
I knew he was excited to play this game, and, man, it looked like it. And this team has been so fun to watch lately because they are peaking at the right time. And, again, it doesn't get you a win. You know, your attitude and your mindset doesn't get you the win. But it certainly contributes to how you play. And you saw that last night. And I think when you look at this team, they continue to figure it out game to game. And again, last night, they looked like down the stretch, they had been here before as a team. This looked like a veteran team all the way in. I mean, for them not to inbound the ball, especially on the second one, they could have got the ball in. Boogie could have got the ball in. But he didn't want to take a chance knowing he had a timeout in his pocket. And how many teams do you see right there, especially after they call one timeout, panic at the end and, throw a pass that gets deflected and then goes off your guy, and now Kansas has the ball on their end of the floor, down 3 with a chance to tie it.
Well, I thought the key thing in that sequence was they switched from Boogie to DJ.
Yeah.
After the 2 timeouts, and
that was key.
Ended up getting the ball in there, and that was. But no, they didn't panic in the game. You got to remember too, these guys have been there.
Yeah. No.
Jonas Adu's motivator last night was the fact that when Kansas played Tennessee, Hunter Dickinson just ran him up and down the floor. I mean, look at the numbers from that game. Hunter Dickinson put up All-American numbers, and Jonas Adu didn't. It was a total reversal of fortune last night. Fortunately for us, he's playing for the Razorbacks now. And he didn't get revenge while he was still playing for Tennessee. So we can benefit, and we do benefit from that. But there were big-time players. It was a fun game. I got to be honest, I watched the first half of that St. John's game, and I'm thinking Arkansas can blow these guys out. Obviously, that changed in the second half. I mean, St. John's ends up winning by 30. But it was a fun game last night, and it's one of those nights we'll remember for a while. This is when college basketball's fun. We spend 4 months to get to March, and this is what we remember.
All the talk, and we've heard it about St. John's, #1 defensive team in the country. All the talk about Kansas being a top 12 team defensively, Arkansas is a top 20 team defensively. They both score 40 points in the first half. It's the first time Arkansas has played an NCAA tournament game where both teams scored 40 in the half since the 94 semifinal game in the Final Four. That's
almost got to 50. It's 47-44 at halftime.
If you had the under, you were sweating as you should have, and then it obviously went over.
But it wasn't until the final minute that either team even got to 30 in the second half.
Yeah, it was a different game in the second half.
Yeah.
But a lot of scoring. And it'll be interesting to see how the St. John's game is played. 877-377-6963. The Hogs win. Final is 79-72. They advance to the matchup everybody wanted to see. St. John's and Arkansas. Cal and Patino in the Italian city. If you want to get in here, you can text the show, call the show. We're reacting to a big-time first-round win. It felt like a heavyweight fight. A lot of praise to go around for a lot of Razorbacks. We'll get into kind of breaking that down a little bit and get your thoughts as well when we come back on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hey, it's tax season. Don't forget, H&R Block can hook you up. Make an appointment or just walk in. Say, hey, I need some help with my taxes. They got 70 years of tax expertise going to work for you so you can file with confidence at an H&R Block. 614. Good morning. Chuck and Bo Show. I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes,
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I am not a planner, and that's the problem.
How does that, this may be a little personal, sorry. How does that work in married life if you're not a planner?
Well, evidently not well.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Now might be a time, Chuck, to remind Bart, and I appreciate him putting himself out there like he did yesterday and always does for the Chuck and Bo Show. And that's why you don't come at Bart, or you're going to have to deal with Chuck and I, a lot of Chuck and I. And it's a time to go to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room and remind Bart that there are no locks in March Madness. Bart was feeling himself yesterday, fresh off of feeling himself the day before, which we helped with, and you were his hype man, and rightfully so. But Bart, feeling himself yesterday, came out with some locks. And I just kind of thought, I wrote them all down. And then I thought to myself, March Madness is a lock unlocker. Like, there are no locks in March Madness. That's why it's March Madness. And Dennis Gates is on my hit list. I mean, I don't mean that.
Yeah.
You know.
Whoa. I mean, Dennis Gates, what's up
Come
with
on,
the
man.
zoo? I mean,
Come
holy
on.
cow.
Listen.
I gave you Drake.
Listen, my daughter-in-law, Micah, my girlfriend, Sarah, both had perfect, of the however many brackets they filled out for fun, both had perfect brackets were it not for Drake beating Missouri. Like in the 1 percentile of perfect brackets last night, which, isn't going to last, but don't tell them that.
Whoa, no.
They were all
Child's play to them.
They
I
were
don't understand what all the fuss is about.
They were all about it until Missouri lost. I thought Missouri was going to win it at the end, and they just couldn't figure out a way to do it. And we got to find this clip because the announcer of the game couldn't help himself and referenced the Drake-Kendrick Lamar feud. That Drake couldn't beat Kendrick Lamar, but Drake beat Missouri in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
Yeah.
Been waiting all day for that.
Yeah, that's some Chuck and Bo attention getter right there. That's,
he was in his room thinking, please, if there's a basketball god out there, let Drake win tonight so I can throw this line out there.
He's in a courtyard by Marriott. What am I going to say if Drake wins?
That's right.
Ooh, this is going to be a good one.
Oh, it's going to be a great
What
one.
did you say last night? Because of NCAA tournament rules. There's Kendrick. Go ahead. Don't tease us.
Let it roll.
Yeah, if we're gonna go there,
it's a dangerous game. It says it's clean, but I'm not sure.
It's a the whole thing's a dangerous game.
Clean is subjective when it comes to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, we got enough.
They do have this rule. Westwood One owns all the rights. I'm not going to get too far into the weeds, but the bottom line is Westwood One won't let the network send out their own stuff. I think after the fact, maybe when it's over you can, but you can't use your own stuff. You have to use their stuff when you play highlights during the tournament.
So we need a little crowd noise. We can fix this. Back in the local TV days in my career, we couldn't show highlights while the game was still going on.
That's right.
And so Arkansas, would be winning or losing, and we couldn't, I'd have to do the sportscast, and we just have to show the score. And then sometimes even there's a certain amount of time after the game you can't show it. So, I would have, I would draw pictures, like really bad stick figures.
No.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I'd be like, this is when Nelly hit the three, with 1:47 left. Yeah. So
I gotta see this.
Oh yeah. I had fun with it. You have to. Because it's awful. It's awful. It's like how do I do my job?
What are you doing?
So you want to let me do my job? We're gonna do it a completely different way. So right now, I want to hear Chuck's call of the game last night.
I don't even remember, Bo.
Well, just do one now. That's what I'm saying. Just do one now. Just give me your best, whichever way you want to go. It can be as chill or as excited as you want to be. Could be a dude just putting one in Hunter Dickinson's face.
Don't wake up the people in the room next door, though.
It could be, maybe it's just a part where you looked over there at Bill Self and said, man, he doesn't look very happy. Any of that stuff works. There goes Bill
8 for
Self.
8 down the line. Hogs make the plays down the stretch, and they're moving to the round of 32. How about that?
Yes, that's it. There we go. We can't have the voice of the Razorbacks on the show. Can't be his show listed first, and we don't even hear from the call of the game. I mean, I got problems with these NCAA tournament people holding everything
it really
hostage.
Is silly the way they do it. Somewhere along the line, in all seriousness, the NCAA let CBS on the television side and Westwood One on the radio side just rake them over the coals. I mean, the way they, embargo highlights, radio and television, I can see it to an extent, but they just go nuts.
Now you can't even take pictures. Like if you're a media member, you can't even take pictures at the game or the celebrations and post them. Like now people do anyway.
That's
people
why
are like, what are you going to do?
That's why you draw them or you make a painting.
I guess that's
you make
right,
a painting on the fly.
But it is ridiculous. But hey, here's the thing: for people watching at home, watching it on television, you get to see everything. And it was great. I know people had a great night. I bet a lot of people had a hard time going to sleep.
Do you want to go you want to take shots at people for a while, or do you want to continue to talk about the guys that played well last night? Which one do you want to do first? I mean, we got 3 hours here, and then we're going to take Cecil's call. We got all this to get to. Do we want to take any shots right now?
Shots are good.
Okay.
Love taking shots.
Take some shots.
Okay. Let me introduce Joey Brackets to you.
Razorbacks played their best basketball this year after the injury to freshman Boogie Fland. So what are they doing? They're rushing Fland back into the lineup for the NCAA tournament. Coach Calipari is in the Hall of Fame, and he knows better than I do. Personally, I'd leave it well enough alone. I think the mix-up is going to cost the Hogs a first-round game against a beatable Kansas opponent.
I don't know about you, but I was freaked out the whole time Boogie was out there. Like, how's he going to screw it up next? Wow. Gosh, I wish he wasn't out there.
He really just ruined the game.
I don't trust that
What's
guy.
he thinking? Put
Holy
Fland
cow.
in there.
Lottery pick. Why would you play that guy? What a moron. Cal, I know you're a Hall of Famer, but gee, why would you play your best player? Well, when he comes back, why would you do that? Give me something, Edward.
I know how to play basketball. It was just more so like, I know how to play basketball.
What happened?
I don't know what's happening.
Wow.
It's Boogie saying he knows how to play basketball.
Boogie knows how to play basketball. Apparently Lenardi didn't know that. He played almost 24 minutes. 6 points, 3 assists, 3 steals, no turnovers, +6 in the plus-minus category.
Well, and I think the fact that we're not really talking about him in terms of winning and losing the game, I think that shows you what the other guys have done and what they continue to do. Boogie was a nice piece. And, look, his legs helped. I mean, just having another body out there on the defensive end helped. That does not show up in the box score, but it is a factor. But the fact that today we're talking about Jonas Adu. We're talking about John L. Davis. Boogie is one that's going to come up, but not in terms of directly affecting the outcome of the game. Now, that may be different Saturday. You got to remember, Boogie's a New York guy, and they're playing New York's team now, at least in terms of college basketball, and he's got a lot of family that are going to be here. Maybe a little different Saturday, I don't know. But here's the thing I know about Boogie, and I appreciate this just as an observer. He didn't come in and try to force himself on the action last night. Some guys, particularly players that everybody knows are a good player, the draft guys, first-round pick, sometimes when those guys come back, the first thing they've got to do is announce to everybody in the building, I am on the floor. Boogie never did that last night, and I think that's a real credit to him as a teammate. It showed me that when he said, I don't want to come back and screw things up, I just want to help, it shows me that he meant it. And I thought that's the way he played last night.
He was ready to play.
Sure he was.
He tried to throw down a monster dunk on that steal. And I thought to myself, well, I think he's okay. I think he's after he – and by the way, you're watching him hoping he doesn't get, just hit the wrong way. He was in like 4 car accidents within the first 5 minutes of being in the game.
He's diving
I mean,
on the
they were
floor.
body checking him in between 2 guys. But then when he bounced off the floor after that, it got right back up with a smile on his face. You're like, okay, he's all right.
Well, you got to remember, too, I mean, and I'm not minimizing a thumb injury, but it's not like he had a knee injury. It's not like his whole body was hurt. It's not like when he hits the deck, it's like, oh, my God, I hope his knee's all right. Well, it was his thumb. So, there again, I mean, I'm not minimizing a thumb injury. I'm just saying that it's not disaster when he goes to the floor.
Cecil's in Fort Smith. Cecil, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, fellas. Hope y'all enjoying y'all trip. Man, I really enjoyed the game last night, and I really wasn't worried. We came out, man. You can see it on everybody's face. They all was locked in, and Boogie was definitely locked in. He played a really good game first time back, and yes, he did hit the floor really hard. And I actually thought when he first hit, I thought he landed on his wrist again because he kind of grabbed it. But he played a really good game. Adu, man, hey, he done came out the right way, man. I was shocked. And it was like back when Corey and everybody was out there, Noah and them was out there, it was that kind of feel of the game. And right now, I'm thinking we're going to make it to San Francisco. Good as we playing right now and locked in, I saw some of the game last night against Omaha. Omaha was tit for tat at first. And then I just heard one of y'all say that they got blowed out by 30 points. I think that was you.
Yeah, they blew them out in the second half.
Yeah, but man, listen, I think we're ready, Chuck. I know we're ready, as a matter of fact. And for Big Z, did Big Z ever go in?
He didn't play a lot. Yeah, he played a little bit, but he didn't play very
Okay,
much.
he didn't play a lot, but Big Z can still play, though. What I'm trying to say is we played a really good game, and he didn't even play much. So, that means we still have somebody off the bench to come in and do something. So I'm ready for Saturday, and man, I just know we're going to keep moving on. I put Arkansas. Actually, I love Arkansas, but I put us to make it to the what did I think I put us up at the Elite Eight, or I think the Elite Eight, because it got kind of sticky down there. But good as we playing basketball, we could beat anybody, Chuck.
Well,
really, we can.
And they feel like they believe they can right now. And I'm not saying that guarantees anything, but it's part of it.
Okay, Chuck. Last night, my buddy Big Doug, we went to a bar and watched the game, and he said, "Hey man, it was like so many million, and that lost out was way behind after the first round, and we were up there. We were like, oh my God, I forget what it was.
I'm telling
I don't want to
you,
just say a
Sarah
number, but
and
we
Micah,
were
perfect brackets right there.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, guys, I'm ready to sunbreak. I got to get.
Got him back.
Yeah.
That's what. It's the curse of Drake is what happened. What happened? Ruined all the perfect brackets. Yeah. All right, Cecil.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
Well,
We'll
hey,
do it
man,
again
y'all don't eat
Monday.
too much East Coast food. I know it's delicious out there, man.
Yeah. Chuck's been partying. He's been at Denny's twice now. It's 6:32. Good morning. It's a Chuck and Bo Show celebrating a Hog victory over Kansas.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show. If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
National Championship Program. National Championship Coach. A match made in hog heaven.
This program, you talk about some of the best jobs in the country. In basketball, this is one of them. This fan base is so engaged. I love it.
Throws it up at the horn. It's good. Arkansas is going to win the game.
This program is the state's program.
Listen to every moment of John Calipari's first season.
Right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to The Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I would venture to bet 3 out of every 4 head coaches are absolutely worthless around the house. They can't do anything. Your commode messes up, call the guy. They hadn't mowed a yard in 15 years.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We got to get that. We got to get some clips from that Dan Hurley E60 to play on the show.
His poor wife.
It's
has
good.
To fix everything
Here's
around the house.
what's interesting about that E60. It makes you like Dan Hurley. It really does.
That's impressive.
No, just you know.
I'm gonna have to see it to believe it.
Well, I mean, that's part of the point. That is part of the point.
I'll have to watch.
877-377-6963. I remembered the phone number today.
Hey,
I feel
small victories.
Yeah. I thought
big victory last night, small victories this morning.
I thought I had a,
focus
I
factor
thought I had a
last night.
concussion from the wind that had been going around town yesterday when I couldn't remember the number. All right, we got calls. We got people I'm guessing are excited. We're going to Scranton, Arkansas to find Corey. Corey, the Chuck and Bo Show. Hogs beat Kansas. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Hey, I'm just calling in. I was really just going to give Bart a hard time. I know y'all like to do that all the time, so I figured it was okay.
Welcome in.
Well, my main concern is that yesterday y'all were going through bracket picks, and I was kind of doing my own thing, and I listened to them, and I picked VCU over BYU, and that's the only one I missed yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Chuck and I did not do that.
No.
We didn't listen to
No,
Edward on
Bart
Creighton
did.
either. You know, I mean, we both fell for that
Blue Jays.
that Louisville Cardinal crap in Lexington, which you
yeah,
should have known
I
that
went
they wouldn't have
perfect
played
on
well.
every other one.
BYU. What were the other games that we were kind of on the fence about yesterday?
I think Chuck definitively
I was really
picked
shocked
Georgia.
with the McNeese State one, but I went ahead and picked them anyways because I didn't care for Clemson basketball.
Yeah, I mean, the McNeese thing wasn't even an upset. It was such a popular pick. I think Chuck and I avoided it because everybody else in the world was picking that. But like you expected McNeese to win that game, you know, and they dang near ran him out of the gym and then almost blew the game. Like that's another thing. You're seeing, you know, Arkansas has done a few of these things right throughout the year where they give up big leads or whatever. I mean, it's just part of basketball. I mean, when you get to this level, most teams can make a run. Like you knew Kansas was going to make a run last night, and they did. And what makes you feel good about Arkansas is they've been in that spot so many times now. They were just in it again.
I'm going to tell you what makes me feel better about Arkansas and every team in the SEC is if I was one of those people that made that wager yesterday, SEC versus the field, all SEC Final Four, I'd feel pretty good about things.
Well, we did. You and I have, 78-1 on that.
I have a friend who, honest to God, based on that interview with Zach, put $200 on an all-SEC Final Four. He wins like over $15,000.
Smart man.
But listen to this. Listen to me. Louisville and Clemson both lost yesterday. They were a combined 36-4 in the ACC this year. They both went 18-2 in the ACC. Clemson beat Duke. I mean, these teams they won almost 30 games in their first-round exits. And, Clemson and McNeese are both here. That's Midwest Regional, but they've got a pod here in Providence. I was at the arena yesterday. It was like a McNeese home game. I didn't know there were that many people from Lake Charles with the money to get to Providence. But, it's once in a lifetime, so they're here. But, yeah, that was a big win for them. But I do feel better today about the SEC, and I felt pretty good going in. I know they were 4-2 yesterday. Missouri laid an egg.
Georgia got ran out of the gym.
Yeah, they really
by
did.
Gonzaga.
They really did.
Thankfully, I didn't listen to you on that.
That was one of those picks with your conference loyalty. I never really thought Georgia was any good. That's true. I never really did think Georgia was any good.
It just means more.
It
just means more, so I'll pick them anyhow.
That's right.
Charlie and Camden, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Well, I hear you guys talking about the SEC, and I have my SEC bias bracket. That's why you make multiple brackets, right? You make one where you got Arkansas going all the way because that's your favorite team, and then you get your SEC bias, and then you kind of make one that you maybe think, well, maybe this one will be the right one. It still didn't go well for me. I did not think Missouri was going to lose that game.
I didn't either.
I did pick Gonzaga in 2 of 3 brackets, so I don't know why. I'm like you, Chuck. I didn't think Georgia was all that good. for whatever reason. I just didn't see it. But look, man, the game last night though. Bo, you make a good point. Kansas, they made their run. I tell you, give Kansas a lot of credit for going to that defense and just totally, I just think it totally took us out of our rhythm. I think Arkansas's defense in the last 4 minutes of the game, though, their ability to come up with loose balls, get fouled, rebound, all those things, that won the game for them. Because when the game was in the half court, if that game would have kept being in the half court, I don't think they'd win. And I feel sorry for the kid. What was the kid's name that I think he tore his Achilles, right, for Kansas?
Yeah.
What was his name, Chuck?
KJ Adams.
Man, I don't care who it is. I hate that for anyone. That was awful. That kid was playing well too, and I'm not saying that took the spirit away from him, because I think they were fighting for their lives. They lost the game, but he was playing great, and I hate that for him. Don't wish that on anyone. But I thought another thing. I thought Boogie, if he doesn't play, a lot of people 10 to 15 minutes. Well, last night if he doesn't play 20 plus minutes, I don't think we win this game. And I'm not talking about his offense. I thought his defense last night. He was an underrated defender in my opinion beforehand, and the way he defended, I think he had 3 steals, and I think his plus minus was plus
6.
I think his plus minus
6.
was plus 6.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and no,
what a job.
No, you're right. And Jeremy in Clarksville, we had it up on the screen earlier, texted the show that was a difference in the game on Mayo. Boogie came back in, his on-ball defense of Mayo changed the complexion of the game. I mean, there's a reason why he played as many minutes as he did. But also, like, down the stretch in a game like that, Chuck, you trust the guy on the floor.
Well, one of the things, we've talked a lot about how Arkansas has given up leads. Part of that's the fact they're playing with 7 or 8 guys. I mean, fatigue does become a factor. It's not been discussed a lot because you can talk yourself into being tired. And they don't bring it up a lot. But just having Boogie's legs out there, fresh legs on the defensive end, that's a real factor. And I'm not saying it was a game changer last night, but it sure played a role in what happened at the end.
You'd rather have them. You know that.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot to get to, including what Cal said about the zone. And you're right. Another great point, Charlie. Bill Self did a great job coaching that game. I mean, the early timeout. Yeah, the early timeout. Arkansas was about to go on a run there. Going to that zone. He pulled all the levers, but Arkansas was just better last night. You want to be better? You want to feel better? The Sweat No Madge can help you do that. You don't have to be dragging and tired every day and just feeling like you don't have it anymore. SweatNumCosmetic.com. Go to that website, click on the Sweat No Madge, get a free evaluation of where you are with your labs, because you may be deficient in some areas. In fact, most of us are. It's just a part of life, but we don't know what to do about it. They can give you a game plan that'll help you out, and you can regain how you once felt with that energy that lasts you all day, and you don't have to self-medicate with a bunch of caffeine. The Sweat No Madge. I've tried it. You try it. It'll work for you like it did for me. I'm pretty sure of that. And I can tell you it's a lot better and a lot different. 877-377-6963, the Chuck and Bo Show, 647. Good morning.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about Bill's...
The Chuck and Bo Show. Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
It seems like everything Everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Well-rested Chuck
That's right.
is the best kind of Chuck.
I will be good tonight. Stay in. You'll get the best version of me tomorrow, I promise.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Listen to us anywhere on the Hit That Line Now app. presented by Taco Bell. Here's Cal on the zone defense that KU threw on them to help eliminate an 11-point lead.
I thought we were prepared, but we're a different team. The guy I usually have in the middle is a Duke. He ain't here anymore. So now we haven't played much against zone, and I tried Jonas or I tried TB, didn't like it. We tried a guard in there, and then we finally went to Jonas, and that's, putting TB on the baseline looked to be a better thing for us.
TB was all over the floor in that sequence where they went zone. Those two putbacks were huge. And by the way, Brazil, the job he's done down the stretch is another guy you just can't give enough credit to, Chuck.
Oh, yeah. He's turned into a double-double machine. The 10 rebounds is almost a given right now, and he had 3 offensive rebounds. I thought one of the real keys in the game last night was they never let Kansas crash the offensive glass, and I was worried about that. I was really worried about it, if you want to know the truth, especially early in the game when Dickinson got off to such a good start. But Brazil's been a monster inside, and I don't know if there's anybody out there that can get higher above the rim than he can. He just soars, and he did it again last night.
Playing with a lot of confidence.
Oh, absolutely.
The way he's playing, Adu's playing, Nelly's playing. Did Nelly look like a veteran last night, like a trusted veteran in crunch time?
What I liked about Nelly is last night is he might, on the offensive end, take a shot that maybe you don't want him to take or miss a shot or whatever. And then, the very next defensive possession, Kansas comes down the court with the ball, and Nelly makes a big play on defense, whether it's a steal or a deflection or just, really ramping up the pressure. Yeah, blocking a shot. Just really, really great, heady leadership type stuff from him.
Sometimes when he blocks a shot, I've been watching the guy all year. I'm like, I didn't know he could jump like that.
Right.
A guy takes layups on fast breaks.
The chase down block was insane.
And then all of a sudden, he'll just he'll touch the top of the square on the backboard. You're like, what?
Oh, he can get up. He can get up. Look at, if they've got a still shot with him at the apex on some of those lobs.
Yeah.
His elbows are way above the rim.
It's crazy. It seems like every one of these guys, outside of Zvonimir Visic, who I think we'll find it, are playing the best they've played all year.
Big Z just needs to make one shot. If he'll make one shot, a lot of things will come back.
Almost 7 o'clock on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block. Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 60s with winds 20 to 35 miles per hour. Mainly clear sky tonight, low 40s, and then Saturday sunshine, a high in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Ty Richardson, we're live here at First Financial Mortgage. I'm here with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know I probably texted you 100 times during this process, man. I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, you did.
Yeah, Ty. It was always great working with you. Glad we could help you get closed. A good loan officer is someone who can answer questions after hours, before hours, and be available when you're needed. We get pre-qualifications in, get buyers pre-qualified so they can search for homes and get them closed quick. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
They're on a mission. This team wants to make sure that we get to the end.
Call them the Omahawks. Yes, sir. Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Now, you got to understand, when I go on vacation, I'm not going to give you any action shots. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that I get up in the morning and we're going to go out on the water, we're going to do this and that. I mean, we're going to have some big day. No, I'm not doing that.
What is an action shot?
Well, I mean, like, you know, if you wanted to have some sort of, some sort of shot of, what you and I do on vacation, I would be sitting and staring out at the water.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
All right, we're going to have to go to the Chevy Fayetteville Situation Room momentarily. But Cal revealed something last night after the victory. Arkansas knocks Kansas off in the first round if you're just joining us. And remember early in the year, Cal talked about having that card with like 5 things on it to just remind himself, that things might have been negative and they weren't going great, but he had some things he didn't tell us what they were, but he'd look at these things every day. And last night, he revealed it.
Every one of us, including me, had doubts, and we all had to convince ourselves we're going to do this. I had a card I read every morning, every night before I went to bed, and it was, I've been blessed throughout my life. Forget basketball. I have been blessed. I'm going to have a great attitude. I'm going to enjoy this journey and grow as a coach from it. I am going to make sure I keep an eye on my players. Let's write our own story. And then in the end, it said, have faith. And I read it in the morning, and I read it when I walk my dog, which I do twice a day. I think he walks me, but I think I walk him, but I think it's the other way. And before I go to bed, I have it with me here.
There you go. Those are the 5 things that were
well, whatever
on the
they
card.
are, it's worked. That's for sure. And there are a lot of lessons that come from this year, and it's not over. That's the thing. I feel better about our chances right now than I have at any point this season. It was, I think for most Razorback fans, it was maybe a little hard to sleep last night after that game because they're excited. Maybe they watched that first half of the St. John's game and they thought, we can kill these guys. St. John's got a lot better in the second half, by the way. But I think people feel good about it. They're ready for tomorrow afternoon to get here. 1:40, by the way.
Jeremy in Clarksville. Now, if only Kentucky will lose today.
That'd be perfect.
Bart is live in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Chevy of Fayetteville, the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. What do you have?
So, interesting odds to win the national championship after yesterday. Arkansas now plus 6,000, 60 to 1 to win it all. Those are the 13th best odds of any team in the field. They're 10 seed. The 13th
What were
best
they before?
Odds, they were in the, it was over 100 to 1 to win.
Wow.
60 to 1 now. 13th best odds in the field as a 10 seed. And for those just, keeping track at home or whatever, Kentucky's 70 to 1. So there you go.
Isn't that incredible? That's the power of a win. It's the power of having Cal. It's the power of beating Bill Self. All those things.
That's
and
exactly
all of
right.
a sudden, the odds are a whole lot better.
Well, how about this perspective? If you're a Kentucky fan, nobody's talking about you.
Ooh, wow. Man, that is a low blow. Just go right for the solar plexus. Just waste no time.
That was awesome.
It's just true.
It is.
That's
It
the
is. It was
line of the
awesome,
day.
though.
It's just nobody's talking about you. I don't know when you play. I don't know who you play, and nobody's talking about you. They were talking about Cal in Kansas. We can say Arkansas in Kansas. They were talking about Cal in Kansas. Now they're talking about Cal and Patino. They're talking about your former coaches. They don't care about the guy you have there now. For all that talk and all this looking down on what was going on in Arkansas early in the year, how you doing now?
Oh, are they going to be eating their hearts out
Are
tomorrow?
you guys on TV? How many channels down, in your hotel room, I'm not sure the game is going to be on one of the channels on your actual cable system at the Courtyard by Marriott that you're staying at. I'm not even, I'm serious. I'm not even sure. Did you, does CBS know you're in the tournament?
The
They're
game,
on TNT.
The game's on CBS.
Okay, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
they play at 6:10.
you got to be honest. You wondered too.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I didn't know when the game was. And frankly, I didn't care.
When's the true crime series over and our games start? I'm being serious. Like, nobody's talking about Kentucky. And like, if they go win games, great. But they were like, we're so glad to be rid of you. So glad you're out of here. You're irrelevant right now. Like, you're going to have to go earn relevancy again. You don't wake up and just beat Kentucky and you're relevant. Sorry. Like, I think you forgot that back when you had even Tubby Smith, who won a national championship. But, like, Billy Clyde. I mean, you forgot what he did for you. Not my problem. I'm just reminding you of it.
Well, the two coaches everybody in college basketball is going to be talking about tomorrow both got away. I mean, they're the two that got away from Kentucky. They let Pitino, I won't say they let him, but he got away. He slipped away. They ran Cal off. And again, Kentucky's good, but I promise you, they watched Arkansas play Kansas, and they will be glued to the television when John Calipari takes on Rick Pitino.
National Memory Day. Enjoy it, Kentucky.
That was a great line.
National Memory Day.
Hey, the worst thing you can say to a diva, nobody's talking about you.
That's just true. And here Arkansas is with the 13th best odds. Look, I don't know it's going to be a tough game with St. John's. But guess what? They've all been tough games. I mean, they've been tough games for weeks. Almost every one of them. And, like, when Self said after the game last night, Arkansas's length really bothered them. And we mentioned this yesterday. We don't talk about this very often. We look at the other team and what problems they're going to cause Arkansas. Arkansas causes a lot of problems for teams. And I told you, when they got knocked out of the SEC tournament, I had a parent on the team that's a friend of mine text me and said, nobody wants to play us. And he's right. Like, nobody wants to play Arkansas right now. And that doesn't mean they're going to, get to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight. I don't know. But, like, they're a team that's dangerous right now in March, and people don't want to play them. And that's where you hope to be, no matter the roster, no matter the NIL, whatever you thought in recruiting. None of that matters when you get to March. It's like, how are you playing in March?
Well, the thing that, Arkansas, last night, I just felt like Arkansas played like an NCAA tournament team, as you say. They just, from the jump, and I'll go back to the warm-ups, and I know some people don't look into this the way I do. I thought Kansas had a terrible warm-up. Z and I were talking about it before we went on the air. Our spot was right there where Kansas was warming up. And I'm not saying that has anything to do sometimes with the outcome. But I've watched enough to know when a team's having a good warm-up and when they're not. And I watched them, and we watched them, and we talked. And I'm not saying Arkansas was more ready to play, but Arkansas was more ready to play.
Well, they came out and made shots. And, like, that's another thing we can't overlook because sometimes that doesn't happen. But when they come out and make a few shots early, they become an even more difficult team to play. And you can only hope for that again on Saturday at 1:40. Chuck mentioned that earlier, but if you're just getting up, I know a lot of people were wondering immediately after the game last night when the Hogs would play next, and it's Saturday at 1:40. It was always going to be Saturday, but we didn't know what time, and now we know it's going to be at 1:40 on CBS. St. John's, Cal, and Pitino will be a much-watched game. And we'll get into that coming up. We'll take your calls, too, 877-377-6963. If you want to hop in, you want to text or call, celebrating what felt like a really big win last night. Didn't feel like an opening round win. It felt way deeper in the tournament than that in the way the game was played. And if you were just a casual observer of the tournament last night, not for either one of these teams, that was a great basketball game to watch. That is getting your money's worth right there.
It was so fun. It was just a fun basketball game to watch.
Did you have another favorite from the day? I know it was a rough day for you.
It wasn't a rough day for me.
Well, how did you do on the locks?
I went 2-2 on the locks, but 13 of 16 in the bracket. So
okay.
So
so you feel good in the bracket.
Yeah.
What's Chuck and I's bracket like?
I have no idea. I don't know what your bracket is named in our little in our group. Not a little group. It's a big group.
You sound like Chuck there. Your little friends. Your little people. Yeah, how was your little get together last night?
That's where. Speaking of, that's where I watched.
Yeah.
That's where I watched the game last night.
Walk-ons?
Yeah,
yeah.
It was great.
Well,
great crowd.
I bet it was
loud.
crowded.
It was crowded. It was packed. People were cheering, calling the Hogs. When you're watching a big game like that with a big group of people, it just
it's great. There's no better place to watch a game.
It elevates it
than at walk-ons. No place to get your taxes done quite like H&R Block either. You got to get those done. It's like one of those things none of us want to deal with. Like, you don't necessarily want to go to the doctor or the dentist, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Like, tax season comes every year. Let the professionals take care of it for you so you can file with confidence. And if you got a question, because it can be complicated, they can answer all that for you. H&R Block, find one around the corner. They're everywhere. And they've got 70 years of tax expertise going to work for you so you can file with confidence. 7:13, it's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey alongside my man, Matt Zimmer. And it's a great time to be a Razorback.
Embrace the home!
Whether it's a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a grand slam.
Big Sully, they were doing all the stuff. I went in there to get something to eat, and they're cheering. I'm like, what is going on here?
We're here with the excitement and insight you crave.
Well, you're giving me goosebumps now, you know.
It's the Razorback Daily from the team at Sport and Store.
That might be our best episode ever.
Available wherever you listen to your podcast each morning.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Shirley's Tax Service has been serving the River Valley for 49 years and has won the Times record Best of the Best 8 years running. Shirley's is in the top 2% of independent tax offices nationwide. Shirley's takes pride in providing superior service at a price a working person can afford. Shirley's has 6 locations, now open in Ozark. So if you're looking for the best, fast, friendly, professional service in town at a price a working person can afford, call Shirley's Tax Service today, 922-1040. That's 922-1040.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Oh man, I got revved up.
I know you did. Both of you did.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get revved up on something different than
you
that
guys
segment.
got so fired up, I started sweating. And I wasn't doing anything in that segment.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Now, I'm just looking at a video on social media from Oakland last night at the Mainline Sports Bar.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it looks great, yeah.
I'll bet they were having a big time.
Oh, it looks great. Calling the Hogs big time. Happening all over the state last night. I mean, you start 0-5, Chuck. You go through all this emotion. You got Cal. It's not going particularly well. And today you remember how good it is when Arkansas is winning, when good things are happening, how the state comes together. People, enjoy the and remember it.
Well, and I hope people know this, and this is not an embellishment. Everybody in Providence, Rhode Island, feels everybody's spirit back home. I mean, you do, because I experienced it all during my life. One of my greatest Razorback memories ever. I was not in Charlotte when they won it all. I was broadcasting Razorback baseball that week. But I happened to be in town the night they won it all, just walking out in the yard and hearing all the spontaneous hog calls from 3-4 blocks away. That's what happens during the NCAA tournament. It's what happened when Arkansas made it to the Elite Eight. And I suspect some of it happened last night. If they beat St. John's tomorrow afternoon, there's going to be a bunch of it late in the day, and the restaurants are going to be packed tomorrow night.
By the way, our bracket, Chuck, we hit 13 games yesterday.
That's pretty good.
You and I are tied with Bart.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we're
all right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
it's the beat Bart bracket competition, and after one day, we're tied.
Yes.
JR and Shady Grove, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How y'all?
Hey, man.
Hey, JR.
Good. I read, did Georgia beat down St. John's earlier this year? Is that correct?
I think they did beat them earlier this season. I'll have to look at that. I got my note package right here.
The other question was,
yes, that's
I'm
true.
assuming Thero.
Yeah, that's true.
Georgia won by 3, 66-63.
Okay. And I'm assuming Thero, is that just a weekly?
I don't expect him back this year.
You don't expect him to play anymore?
No.
Okay. Chuck, one question for you real quick. Right there at the end for the half, that foul on Flan, that block or whatever they called it, that looked like a pretty good body collision right there on that. Did you come away with that? You were sitting right there. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of contact. You could have called a foul right there. You could have. But, you could have called fouls a lot last night. I actually thought the game was called.
Yeah,
I thought it was called well.
Yeah, I thought it was officiated.
They even called it travel.
Yeah, 2 travels.
Multiple.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have a good weekend.
Oh, okay. Thanks, JR, too. That was good. 877-377-6963. We had a lot going on there. Chuck's reaching into his briefcase. He's got the cross strap.
Hey, we should
have a lot of
his
stuff
saddle
happened.
bag. He's reaching into the saddle bag there in the hotel. I got it right here in my note packet. Bart's like, "Yep, they sure did." And then we had a, did you see the collision? Yep. All right.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't recall the exact collision.
Oh, I do.
I mean,
I do.
Boogie got
on
hammered.
TV. He got. It was. I'm telling
was
you.
that the one where they blocked the shot and they went
That was
in
a
and the
different
ball
one.
ended up going
No,
off?
there was a different one. Like he kept getting they were banging into him quite a bit, but he got sort of sandwiched in between 2 Kansas players.
Well,
there
was the play where
I remember now.
Boogie was going up and the Kansas player was not even looking at the ball. He was just attacking Boogie basically, and they looked at it for a flagrant foul and just called it foul.
Yeah, there were multiple. I mean, he was he was all over the place. He looked really quick and explosive. He also looked like a guy that hasn't played since January 15th. He fell a lot. Like his legs aren't quite underneath him. By the way, let's just get to the – go ahead, Chuck.
Well, I was just going to say, you could tell on his shots that he had not played a lot. He just did not look comfortable, I thought, particularly on the threes. But that does not mean he wasn't a factor in the game. You can affect the game without scoring.
100% he was. Adu, 22 points in 39 minutes, just the player of the game. And shut
39 minutes.
Say that again. 39 minutes.
They spelled Hunter Dickinson a lot, but when they took him out, that guy they brought in was a pogo stick. And Adu really did a good job, played virtually the whole game.
Hunter Dickinson, who was the player to watch in this game. Anybody talking about the game was talking about him. 11 points, 4 of 13 from the field. Fewest points he's had since January 15th. Just to let you know in perspective how long ago that was. That was 3 days before Boogie Flan went down. That's the last time.
He did not score the final 23 minutes of the game.
Had an open 3 look late that could have been a huge shot. Missed that. Nelly had 18 points, 4 of 4 from the foul line in the final minute. Boogie, 6 points, 3 assists, 3 steals, 24 minutes. Trevin Brazil, 11 points, 12 rebounds. All over the floor. What did DJ do?
DJ did not come out of the game.
He had 6 assists. I know that. I think he had 3 rebounds and 6 assists.
40 minutes.
Points.
Played every minute.
14 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, plus 7. John Ellis plus 13, by the way.
One of the things that happened in this game last night, and it was a common denominator from the exhibition game, was Arkansas was able to get to the basket. In the exhibition game, if you go back and you look at it and you remember, Boogie and DJ just blew right by him. There's a reason Kansas went into that zone last night. It's because they couldn't stop Arkansas man-to-man. They had no chance. Their only chance to come back was to go to a zone. And it's because of the way Arkansas was able to score. Go back and look early in the game last night, the way Arkansas got to the basket, points in the paint. I think their first 15 points maybe. Brazil hit that corner 3. Everything else was in the paint. They attacked, and they were in that mode right away. And I thought that was a real difference. I thought they were the aggressor from the jump. And, again, St. John's who knows what they'll do defensively. They may go a little zone too. Who knows? But if they do, it'll be because Arkansas's guards have just blown by them over and over and over again. And that's what happened last night.
We're going to go to the phones, but let me remind you, if you're celebrating March Madness, if you're celebrating a Razorback win, you can do it with a Flight by Yuengling. It tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, 95 calories, and now they've got the all-new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle that you can take with you anywhere, and the new skinny cans to go with it as well. The next generation of light beer, it's Flight by Yuengling. Lane is in Cave City. Hey, Lane, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hope y'all's doing okay this morning.
Great.
I just wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were. Y'all had talked all week about how if they don't officiate that game like or similar to the SEC games that we've been playing in, that it might affect us. I felt like I was with Chuck. I thought the officiating was very good, and it was pretty close that they let them play pretty rough. Is that something you think we should expect, them letting us play that rough tomorrow against St. John?
I don't know. That's always the wild card. We talked about this a little bit yesterday too when Clay was on. And I admit we may just be old school. We recall the days when, the first thing you thought about going into a game was, gosh, I hope our big man doesn't get in foul trouble right away. And then invariably somebody would. I do think they let him play last night. I have no problems at all with the way it was officiated. And if the game tomorrow is officiated the same way, I'll be good with that. But how it's going to go, I have no idea.
Chuck, we talked about Adu and staying out of foul trouble. And David and Cersei called in and said, well, the key to the game is when Adu gets his second foul. Well, he only had 2 for the entire game. Another, check mark next to his name on a great performance. Seth in Fayetteville. Seth, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Yeah, hey, guys. Man, what a morning. I know y'all been talking about it, but it's exciting. I've been a lifelong Hog fan, and I feel like every year we have the same thing happen, and it was happening this year. And I knew that Cal was going to make this team get better, but who would have thought that it was going to be from losing players to allow other players to have to move around, like Boogie goes out, and I feel like they started moving better. When Thielen went out, I feel like it was an opportunity for Adu in Brazil to have playing time to just get confidence. And it's cool to see them all just absolutely take advantage of it. And I don't remember a Hog team in a long time that's had this much talent. And it's just really cool to see that happen, and have not ever expected it was going to go that way. It's probably the first time I've ever seen it happen like that. Wouldn't draw it up like that, but it's fun to watch them. It was actually painful to watch them. I'm not going to lie. It was painful to watch it get there. But in retrospect, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a Hog fan.
Well,
to see this happen.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It is, and we talked about this, throughout the year, that you got to have 2 perspectives. One of them is what's happening right now, and the other one is the total picture, right? I mean, because you're going to react game to game. But you could see them getting better, and you could see after an 0-5, 1-6 start, they weren't the same team. They were a different team, and they were evolving. And look, you can't necessarily draw up playing your best basketball in March. Like we've seen, the baseball team and many teams, that are really good. I think Auburn's struggling with this right now. Like, how do they play their best in March? Because maybe they've already played their best basketball. But I don't think there's any question that Arkansas is playing their best right now.
To me, the most remarkable thing in all this is the way they've held it together. Look, we've been around teams, even back before they were getting paid, before they'd already been paid. Teams let go of the rope all the time. Couple of tough losses. One of those almost games where you have a chance to beat somebody that's better than you, but you can't close it out. Suddenly you've lost 3, 4, 5 in a row, and everybody quits. And you think about the era we're in right now where everybody's getting paid. They're getting their money up front. Keeping it together is not even as easy as it was 5 years ago, 2 years ago. It's much, much harder to do. I give Cal credit. I give the staff credit. And I give those players credit. Because there was a point this year, Cal even said it himself, where they were fragile. This thing was close now. When they were 0-5 and Boogie went out, this thing was close to crashing. But just the will of the staff and the players kept it together. Sometimes I thought Cal was trying to convince himself things were going to be okay. Even when he was saying it with conviction, I'm thinking, who are you trying to convince? But he was convinced, and he convinced his players, most importantly. And it is a lot more fun, I think, when you get in a situation like this where you've overcome a lot to get here than maybe you have when it was preordained.
Cal was on the Pat McAfee show before the game earlier this week and spoke to this. Well, I got to plug it in. We'll talk about it when we come back. Brought to you in part by Blakeman's today. If you're celebrating a moment like the Hogs were last night, Blakeman's Fine Jewelry is a great place to do it. A new era of elegance, a stunningly redesigned showroom that is second to none, and they got a coffee shop in there. You can go in and talk about the Razorbacks, have a macaroon and a latte while you're going shopping and talk about the Razorbacks. I mean, that's about as good as it gets in a shopping experience. 7:32, Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Chuck and Bo Show. Back in a minute. Good morning.
Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com. Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The SEC has changed.
Major breaking news in college basketball.
Our coach has changed. Our roster has changed. One thing that hasn't changed, who we are. We are a championship program. We are led by Hall of Fame coaches. We are over 19,000 strong at home, and we are just as powerful on the road. We are the ones you counted out. We are Razorbacks.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren. Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jam Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jam Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
That's 782-8940. That's the only number you need to know for all of your heating and air, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs. That's 782-8940, the only number you need to know.
It's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. To have a red truck rolling your way today for great American-made York products, give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've known you for 25 years. I've never seen you hug anybody.
Well, I am a hugger, but just not in this room. Just not here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
877-377-6963. A lot of talk today about what Arkansas has overcome all year. Chuck was referring to it a minute ago before we went to break. I referenced Cal being on the Pat McAfee show this week.
Like, oh my God, we're 0-5. And we had to figure out what to do as a staff. My staff never wavered. They never wavered. And that's why we are here. These kids came together. They became one heartbeat because they had to.
You know, somebody said to me last night, and it's so true, he's like a big kid. Like he gets
I think he's having fun.
The
like
joy,
right now.
the joy, like and like the dad jokes with the team, and the way he talks, you know, and how he finishes off something like. Remember early in the year? Let's go back to this, okay? Everybody was getting their shots in. They're cutting up all these clips of Cal saying things like that at the end because they had to, and then another thing he said from some other time. And you know, it's all, some of it's in good fun, and then the rest of it's just like, look at this guy. He's, you know what, crazy, and not our problem anymore. This is what Kentucky fans are saying. Yeah. And now today, nobody's talking about you. They're talking about Cal. And
They're irrelevant.
Good luck in your first game against Troy coming up later today. We won't be rooting for you because you weren't rooting for us. You started this. And now you and Mark Pope doing all the things that Mark Pope does, which is apparently give you gas money so you can go to the game. Like, what is happening at Kentucky? That Mark Pope is giving gas money to fans to go to games. You're Kentucky. You're the blue blood of college basketball, and he's got to give you gas money to go to games? What?
I mean, I like Mark Pope, but, you know, that is a little bit different for Kentucky. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, it's interesting when they've lost this year. And I know that coaches have to talk to their fan bases when they lose and tell them sometimes what they want to hear. But, I mean, Pope will go off on this, you know, Big Blue Nation and, yeah, you know, all this stuff. He just, you know, and the Kentucky fans just eat it up.
And but the thing he's forgetting is they don't give a crap about him. They don't give a damn about him, Chuck. The day that he loses a game, he is done. Like he's already on the edge of, they don't, like he tries to endear himself to the fans of Kentucky. Oh, it's not about me. Yeah, and they're just going to chew him up and spit him out. Like it's Kentucky. That's who they are. David in South Arkansas. Good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Chuck, I just wanted to say, first off, listening to UNC last night was one of the most enjoyable broadcasts I think I have heard in years.
There we go.
I could just hear the excitement, the fun, and I think the comments you made about such a great game, and just, it was wonderful. But I also wanted to mention, when I looked at the box score this morning, and we were 6 out of 24 three-pointers, you take that away, and I think we were like 22 out of 41 from the field the rest of the game. Does it seem like our scoring droughts coincide when they come down and just start jacking up threes like that? I don't know. It was just something I noticed, but great broadcast, great game, and let's go tomorrow night. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, David.
I want to mention,
I thought there were some times when, I don't know that they came down and, you know, immediately jacked them up, but there were some times where they settled. You know, look, Kansas is a good defensive team, particularly when they went to that zone. I thought Arkansas settled a good bit.
Yeah.
But early in the game, points well made that, Arkansas was able to attack the basket. You look at early in the second half, I think Arkansas made 5 of their first 7 shots, and then they went like 2 for 16. So this team's at its best when it is in the paint. They can shoot threes. They're okay. They're not great, but they're at their best when they're attacking the basket.
I was going to mention that we can't play Chuck's calls of the game. We're prohibited by NCAA rules because Westwood One owns it all, which is so archaic.
Lock, stock, and barrel, by the way. They own everything.
Everybody wants to hold content hostage in a world where content is viral. And like a lot of things in the NCAA, just to get in the weeds here, it's ridiculous. So earlier today, we had Chuck do a call for us, which, it can't be the same as it was last night in the environment.
It was 6:30 in the morning.
All that. But can you give us another one real quick?
Hogs are going to the round of 32. Bring on St. John.
There you go. Petito and Calipari.
Hall of Fame matchup. College basketball is going to be watching. What are the Kentucky fans going to be thinking? The two that got away can't hold their man.
There you go. We got some crowd noise for you. A little bit more. Go ahead.
79-72 the final. Hogs are moving on.
Yeah,
That's the best I can do.
Take that, Westwood One.
After.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show. You got no rights over here. William and Lafayette, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
Doing great.
I'd like to use your show as a platform to say a couple things. First of all, I'm so proud of the Hogs, but I want to make sure somebody's getting recognized. That's Coach Kenny Payne. I mean, we read the box scores off of these big men, Adu, Brazil. I mean, just how they've turned it on, and I think that's a tribute to Coach Kenny Payne, right? And I know he got ran out of Louisville, but I want him to know, his family to know, we are so proud to have him in Fayetteville, and the job he is doing is not going unrecognized, okay?
Appreciate that.
Second of all,
sure he does too.
Coach Cal. Yeah. Second of all, Coach Cal, from a big picture standpoint, something I've noticed about him through the year on this season, right, is that when we have a bad period or we didn't attack the zone well, he owns that after the game. I didn't do a good job coaching him on how to attack that, right? We didn't get the ball in bounds. He said, look, that's on me. Like, I'm glad he made that decision. He does not throw his team under the bus. He takes accountability. He owns it. He's done it time and time through the years. Right? That's why that team fights for him. Don't tell me that team doesn't have pride when we're down 3. And Chuck, you brought it up earlier in the show. Right? We're down 3, under 2 minutes or whatever. They fought back. Other teams that would have gone through what they've gone through earlier in the year, how the fans reacted to them, would have gave up the rope. They wouldn't have gave what about it. They fought because they have pride. Unbelievable job. All right. From a micro standpoint, I get Bill Self went to the zone, and we didn't attack it as best as we could, but we did react to it, right? I think that's when Trevin was going crazy on the offensive rebounds, right?
Yep.
So there was coaching matchups in that game, but look, I'm going to war with my guy. My Italian, that's who I'm rolling with, okay? One more thing. No, 2 more things.
Wow.
2 more things. Chuck, the caller brought it up before, the excitement you had in your voice calling that game last night. After the game was over, I listened to you. I don't know how much Sonic is paying you for those advertisements for those double cheeseburgers, but I was exhausted.
Man,
I was exhausted. Look, I was exhausted.
Here we go.
After that game, I was laying down. I got up. My wife's like, "Are you going to have a drink?" I said, "No, I'm going to Sonic to get a double cheeseburger." Thanks,
there you
Chuck.
go,
it was
right
great.
there. Had a babe. Save that
And
call.
one last request. And, Bo, I need you to really consider this. We've got to get the Bart cut out to Providence for Saturday because we need the mojo in the building. Go Hog, great show. I'm just ecstatic.
Thank you. I'm going to see if we can get that on Johnny Tyson's plane to Providence. I think
At
he
the very least, if we can't get it here tomorrow, get it to the West Coast.
I've already got a deal in place where it'll be at every college football game day next year.
Hey, that's
like
a
the
good
Washington
deal.
State flag. It'll
That's
be
awesome.
It'll be Bart. Hey, listen, the weather's been wacky. If your vehicle's dirty and you want to get it washed and clean, there's a car wash you can trust, owned and operated right here in Arkansas, started right here in Arkansas back in 1989. It's Splash Car Wash. Find a Splash near you, have a clean ride, and do business with great people. And for this show, if you listen to this show, which clearly you are right now, if you text the words or one word, Splash Arkansas, to the number 22322, 22-322. Text Splash Arkansas to that number. Get a free car wash. 7:47, celebrating a win over Kansas for the Razorbacks in round one of the tournament. Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good. The Chuck and Bo Show.
For 33 years, Mansfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
Cop CDL CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Where's my life gone? I don't understand anything that's happening. There's all this stuff going on around me, and I'm just completely clueless. And that's when I decided I'm going to go to bed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Got a lot of calls coming through on a big day for the Razorbacks. Bart's pissed about the treatment of Boogie Flan that we're going to get to in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room a little bit later. David's in Rogers. He got mauled last night. There was no call. We'll get to that. David, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hi, morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, David.
If there's not a Real Housewives of Lexington on tomorrow night or tomorrow or something, I think every TV in Kentucky will be tuned into the game.
No question. No question.
But what if there is? What if there is a Real Housewives of...
There's always one on.
When I'm talking, you're not talking.
I mean,
they'll be watching the game, too.
Yeah. Two TVs
split
going.
Split screen, yeah. Well, you guys have a good weekend.
Hey, thanks
All
for
right,
that.
thank
I
you.
appreciate that. That's some good humor.
Oh, that is going to be. I mean, they're going to watch that game with envy. They'll never admit it.
If there's
they'll
not,
watch that game thinking
take all the
about what
shots
might
you
have
want.
been.
Yeah, take all the shots you want in Kentucky. If Dial a Trade's not on, they'll be listening to the game. Rod on I-40. Real quick, Rod, you got about 40 seconds.
I can't hear you guys.
Well, we'll come back to you. You stay right there. We'll come back to you. It's TV timeout right here. Get your thoughts together. Put them on the whiteboard. We'll come back and get into it.
2-minute warning.
Hey, by the way, if you've noticed you need some gutters or you got some drainage issues around your house, nobody better to call with a 20-year warranty than Hog Trough Gutters. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching, French drains, fully licensed and insured, serving Arkansas throughout the River Valley and northwest Arkansas. The best part is, if you think something's wrong, you can just take a photo and send it to them. Log on to hoggutters.com. The phone number will be there. Shoot them a text. Let them know what your issue is. They'll get back to you, give you some thoughts, and then you can see if you need anything. Right now, they've got some pretty good discounts. Go to hoggutters.com if you're in need of that today.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Man, can you imagine if we all lived together, if we just walked into the living room at like 6 a.m. and just started talking each other's heads off? There's no good morning. I can't have my first cup of
somebody
coffee.
would get shot.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The Crane Team is your home for all your automotive needs in the River Valley. With 2 big Crane, Kia, and Hyundai locations in Fort Smith, the Crane Team has the perfect vehicle for you. From pickup and delivery to service after the sale, plus our famous huge Crane Cash discounts. The Crane Team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Kia Tellurides, Hyundai Palisades, Sorrentos, Tucsons, and more. Visit us today or shop online at craneteam.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 60s with winds 20 to 35 miles per hour. Mainly clear sky tonight, low 40s, and then Saturday sunshine, a high in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. And you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com.
I told
I'm
our
Phil
team
Votaw,
we have not
and you've
seen
never met a lawyer
this
like
type
me.
of size and this type of athleticism all year. We have not seen
KERX
that.
Paris
Crane
Fort
has a
Smith.
7-2
You're listening
center,
to
but
ESPN
they
95.3.
have multiple
Depends on
guys.
where you-
Athleticism-wise,
Very professional
we haven't
time.
seen this year. So we know what we're up against,
Budweiser,
obviously.
the
They had
American
a lot of injuries.
lager.
That's why they opened up 0-5.
time-honored recipe.
But they got it together
True
right
to
now.
our
I don't know where they
process.
finished in the
Brewed
SEC.
using the choicest
8th, 9th
hops,
in
rice,
the SEC.
and
But if
best
they finished
barley
8th
malt.
or 9th, what I watched
Delivering
today,
great quality
I'm glad
beer
we're not in the
since
SEC. Because that's, the
1876.
talent level in that conference is amazing to me.
Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalties. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40
I-40 in Sallisaw.
Coach, either John Calipari or Bill Self. And if it's Destino and Calipari,
It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Kentucky beat Louisville in that game. Aaron Harrison.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
My favorite's when we're going to break, and we're not there yet, but I'm talking, and Chuck knows we're going to break, and he just disengages, sits back from his mic, takes his headset off, and I'm still talking.
Yeah, I need to stop doing that.
And he's on his phone.
That's not true. That is not true.
Like, I know you're I know you're about to land this plane, and I didn't care about your point to begin with, but I wish you to hurry up.
Hey, listen.
I'm indicative of the entire audience right now, Bo. Shut up.
I got to quit doing that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Chuck called it last night. The Hogs get a 79-72 win over Kansas. What a game to watch. What a finish for the Razorbacks. Jonas Aidoo just played out of his mind, played 39 minutes, 22 points, got the better of Hunter Dickinson, and down the stretch, Arkansas looked like the team that deserved to be there. And now, at 1:40 on Saturday afternoon, we have the matchup that they were all talking about on Selection Sunday.
St. John was to win, and Arkansas was to win. Then John Calipari and Rick Pitino meet in Providence. That is the conspiracy of all conspiracies.
And how about this? Both of them will be squaring off if Arkansas could win that game against Kansas, big if, with the right to keep the dream alive of being the first coach to take 4 different teams to the Final Four.
So, again, nobody's talking about Kentucky. They're talking about the former Kentucky coaches, Cal and Pitino in Providence. Here's Pitino last night after his team beat Omaha handedly, a rough first half. Pulled away late in the first half and then into the second half to run away from Omaha and set up this matchup on Saturday.
I told our team we have not seen this type of size and this type of athleticism all year. We have not seen that. Creighton has a 7'2" center, but they have multiple guys. Athleticism-wise, we haven't seen this year. So we know what we're up against, obviously. They had a lot of injuries. That's why they opened up 0-5. But they got it together right now. And if I don't know where they finished in the SEC, 8th, 9th in the SEC. But if they finished 8th and 9th, what I watched today, I'm glad we're not in the SEC because that's the talent level in that conference is amazing to me.
A lot of truth there from Rick Pitino after a 30-point win over Omaha. 140 on CBS Saturday. Cal and Pitino. Not really about these two coaches, but it's about these two coaches.
All eyes in Kentucky will be watching this game. It is appointment television in the state of Kentucky. They're all going to watch it and think about what might have been.
We have texters today rooting for a Kentucky loss. Anybody on that train? What time's the game? 6:10 tonight. Same time on CBS as last night's game. Same time. But we got Troy and Kentucky. If you're looking for action tonight. All right, we got to hit some calls. Let's do it. Ryan's in Hot Springs. Ryan, good morning. Chuck and Bo Show celebrating a win over Kansas.
Oh, man. Anytime we beat Kansas, I don't care how good or bad they are, a win over Kansas is a lot of fun. Now, the reason why I called is I want to say this, is I'm not a Cal guy. I've never been a Cal guy, but I do want to give credit where credit's due on that.
That's too bad.
It got pointed out during that 0-5 about how first years for coaches here at Arkansas are usually not kind to coaches, and it's a struggle to make postseason. And I got to give it to Cal that he managed to come in and buck that trend and managed to make postseason in our first year at a college that's usually very hard to do. So I just wanted to give him credit on that. And, boy, I will say, I didn't get to watch a lot of the game, but I did listen to you quite a bit on the way home there, Chuck, and that was a fun game. And I'm sure glad we got the win. And but, yeah, I just wanted to point that out, and I just think he deserves a little bit of credit for that.
I think he deserves a lot of credit. Ryan, are you still there?
Yes.
One question. Are you a Cal guy now?
No. But I'm also not rooting against him either. I will say that I'm not rooting against him.
What is it you don't like about him?
Just some of the antics he's done at Kentucky and some of the other places I've seen him. He's just not my cup of tea. That's all. I don't
He's warming up. Ryan's warming up.
Okay. I mean, I don't think Ryan's alone. I mean, when you look, if Cal's not on your side, you can't stand him. And so he wasn't on your side for a long time. But, I guess it takes some people longer than others. But, I mean, he's on your side now.
Yeah, games like last night will win you some friends.
Let's go to Rod on I-40 and see if we've got this figured out. Rod, you're on. Good morning.
You got it figured out. Good morning, guys. 2 words describe that game last night: cold sweat. I swear, I tell you, I didn't sleep for. I should have been asleep already. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but yeah, I'm Cal guy. I mean, since Memphis, I've liked him all the time, and I went to bed and had this wonderful dream that things got so bad at Kentucky they shuttered the basketball program.
Said to heck with it, huh?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to tell you who's next on the list. Kansas. Bill Self needs to just go to Texas and tell them thanks for the memories. I mean, he's having to write apology letters mid-season to the fan base. I mean, and by the way, let's just all hold up a mirror here. We're all like this. And let it be a learning lesson when you see somebody else doing it. I mean, you don't know what you have until it's gone. You get tired of it. Let's get rid of that. That's not good enough anymore. I mean, these guys are Hall of Fame coaches. I mean, they're like what Cal's doing the same thing here. Pitino's doing at all the jobs he goes to. They're great coaches. They're not good. Like, you want to sit. I talked about this earlier in the year. Sorry, I'm on a little bit of a soapbox. I just get annoyed by this. Like, again, when they were 1-6, you would have traded Cal for anybody. Who's a better coach? I mean, you can argue for Bruce Pearl. Like, just go through the SEC. You can argue for Rick Barnes. Nate Oates has had a great run at Alabama. So you really want one of those guys over the guy you have? How many times are you in a position where you say, I'll take my guy as a head coach versus anybody in the field? I'll take him. I'll ride or die with it, like really ride or die. Like we're going to have ups, we're going to have downs, but I'm comfortable with who we have. And as fans, we're our own worst enemies, and you're seeing that play out at Kentucky and Kansas. I mean, if you think Kansas fans don't absolutely wear Bill Self just down to a nub, and Kentucky fans don't eventually wear their coaches down to a nub, like, don't be that. Like, they made the job so hard for Cal at Kentucky. I mean, you know what that does to you as a, like, he looks so free and loose in a way. You know what I've heard from so many people? Wow, Cal looks a lot healthier than when he was at Kentucky. Looks like he's lost some weight. You know, like when you see a president go into office and 8 years later, they look like they've gained 20 years. That's what it's like coaching at Kentucky and Kansas. So happy to have Cal here, and I think he's happy to be here. And that's pretty evident by the way he – and by the way, Pitino seems loose and relaxed and like he's enjoying himself.
Well, one of those guys, and I guess it was Reese Davis in those clips that you played there, said, somebody's going to take 4 teams to the Final Four. And if I was going to pick a guy, who's going to do it, it would be the 2 guys that are coaching tomorrow. It would be one of those 2 guys. I think one of those 2 guys will take a 4th team to the Final Four. I don't know if it'll be this year, but it'll happen before they're done.
David's in Searcy. David, good morning. David, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Opportunity missed, David. I don't know what happened. probably ran into the convenience store to get a cup of coffee.
He might have.
I mean, I get it. When you're
out in the
old,
backyard.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that. By the way, tomorrow at the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant, which is straight up Markham from the stadium. Maybe you've heard of the Pratt Place Barn. It's been renovated. They've got a new hotel in there, new lounge and restaurant. They're having a big tailgate prior to the Razorback baseball game
They've got
against South Carolina. Pretty cool setup. I'm going to go out there. They're grilling hot dogs, making some great food. They've got a big brunch set up, bunch of door prizes, gift card giveaways. I think somebody will end up getting tickets to a game. Chef Tyler's going to be out there. Discounts on brews. Come by and say hi if you want between 11 and 1 tomorrow at the Stonebreaker. Roberts in Fayetteville. It's, again, on Markham Hill, just up from Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Robert, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So I want to pipe in here real quick about those that aren't Cal people, and I don't mean anything derogatory towards anybody. Please don't take it this way.
Wow.
But if you got up this morning and you turned on the national news, the one of the top stories was Cal last night and Arkansas on like one of the networks. They covered the tournament, but it was all about Arkansas and the other two, and I'm not going to name them because I don't really care to. But anyway, that's the kind of relevance that somebody with his clout brings to the program. Even though you're in the tournament, there's other teams in the tournament that had just as good at games, but they focused on the three in our region, and Arkansas was the primary one. That's free publicity. If you're a recruit out there and you're thinking, I want to go somewhere, and all of a sudden Cal's on the national news for winning a tournament game, I think that's kind of a big deal. What do you think?
100%. It's Arkansas was relevant before Cal. Kentucky was relevant before Cal. They're more relevant with Cal. And, Alabama was relevant before Saban got there. And a little bit different conversation, all the success Saban had there. But he immediately made Alabama relevant in a way that even as big as Alabama was, they weren't before. College athletics is still about the face of the program, Chuck, being the head coach.
Well, I also think, too, that in terms of the attention that it's getting today, without question, the Arkansas-Kansas game was the most NCAA tournament-like game of the day. It was the best game of the day. Had the best atmosphere, best athletes, Hall of Fame coaches. I know there were upsets. There were things that happened yesterday that, were March Madness-like. But that was far from the feel of an opening round NCAA tournament game last night. Winning it felt a lot different than winning a first-round NCAA tournament game. That had the feel of at the very least, a round of 32 for the right to get to the Sweet 16, and it really had the feel of a game that meant a lot more than that. But those are the kinds of games you expect to play in when you've got a Hall of Fame coach. But I'll give the committee a little bit of credit. Everybody loves to bash the committee. What a heck of a first-round matchup. Self, Calipari, Arkansas, Kansas, and now you get Cal and Pitino in round 2. Those guys, they knew what they were doing there.
Yeah, made for television. 877-377-6963 if you want to jump in. Listen to us anywhere on the Hit That Line Now app, along with where you're finding us right now, whether it's streaming on social media at Chuck and Bo Show, podcast at Chuck and Bo Show, wherever you get podcasts. And you can also find us on the radio all over this great state where we're all celebrating an Arkansas victory today. What to watch? Bart is in the Situation Room, Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, but What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles, just north of the state line in Bentonville, and guess who or just north of Bella Vista, and guess who in Bentonville. Bart, what are we watching today? Obviously, day 2 of the first round
more games
of the NCAA tournament. Hogs don't play again until Saturday at 1:40 on CBS. By the way, a 6.5-point underdog.
That's right.
Again to St. John's.
Yeah.
No worries.
No worries about that. Action again starts today, 11:15 CBS, Mississippi State and Baylor. That's an 8-9 matchup. The other SEC teams in action today. Alabama takes on Robert Morris at 11:40 on True TV. Vanderbilt a 10 seed. They play St. Mary's after that game, also on True TV. Ole Miss and North Carolina is at 3:05 on TNT. Florida, number 1 seed Florida, 5:50 on TNT. They take on Norfolk State. Kentucky plays Troy at 6:10 p.m.
That's the game everybody wants to see.
CBS.
That'll be on cable.
And
Open channel.
Access channel.
And 9 seed Oklahoma plays the 2-time defending national champion UConn Huskies at 8:25 on TNT.
Macadoodles.
I'm saying Boomer Sooner tonight.
Are you?
I'm pulling for the Sooners tonight. Absolutely.
Well, Porter Moser. Well, you're all in on the SEC. And you don't like Dan Hurley.
Yeah, he's anti-Dan
I'm anti-Dan
Hurley. The SEC, not a great start. It's okay. Not a great start. Texas.
4-2.
Missouri.
Who cares?
Georgia.
The Hogs won.
4-3 if you count the Texas game.
Well, but that's not an official. That does not officially count.
That didn't count in your bracket.
Doesn't count.
That did
That's
not.
right.
Yeah,
It didn't make the bracket.
Didn't count in your bracket. Hey, if you're having a watch party, Macadoodles can stock you up in ways that most people can't. Again, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville. That's their 2 locations. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they have a tasting bar to try different spirits. 7 days a week, they have wine tasting from open to close. The thing about Macadoodles is just their unrivaled selection, their allocated selection, their assortment of craft beers, and they've got all the standard staple stuff that you want as well. They'll help you with anything you want to find. They'll walk you around the store, get the ingredients you want to maybe try something new. Macadoodles, the best assortment, competitive pricing, and unmatched customer service. Just north of Bella Vista and Guess Who in Bentonville. Chuck and Bo Show. It is Friday morning. The Hogs beat Kansas. St. John's is next, 8:18. Good morning.
When you went into the Hall of Fame, I think it was at a Western Sizzler.
I think it was. It was at a motel. It wasn't a hotel. It was a motel.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block. Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart, we keep America rolling.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're telling me it's not about me.
Well,
and my
not entirely.
troubles.
No, don't misunderstand me. It is all about you, but maybe not quite to the degree that we might hope.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm happy for Arkansas fans that were maligned by Kentucky fans, Chuck, because they can get their shots in now. And, that's
Absolutely.
what part of being a fan's about. Like the rivalries, that's what it's about.
Hey, paybacks are hell.
Mafia Matt said if they did have a reality show in Kentucky, it'd be called The Real Cousins of Lexington.
Hey, that's a good one.
Hey, that's a good one. Here's Cal after the game last night.
I didn't want the albatross around my neck of my history of coaching. You're supposed to win every game. No, you're not. Your job is to be about those kids. And wherever the program is at that time, your job is to keep picking them up and make them better and make them feel good about themselves. Don't worry about what I've done in the past. It doesn't have any bearing on right now. What I've done in the NCAA tournament, they're talking about wins. It doesn't matter. Final Fours and national title, none of it matters.
I'm going to get carried away for a second before we take Sterling's call.
All right, good.
Is Arkansas on the verge of becoming America's team in this NCAA
dream
tournament?
Dream with me.
I didn't want the albatross of all the past and the Calipari this and whatever. And we were down and out. They didn't put the nails in the coffin, and we were hurt, and we didn't have a chance, and we didn't have a prayer, but we stayed together, and we were one heartbeat, and we are facing the Giants, and here we go. Little old Arkansas. I don't know. They're on. We need to get rid of McNeese State and Drake, and then maybe Arkansas will become the lovable team that people root for in the NCAA tournament if they can keep winning. Sterling in Center Ridge. Good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, fellas, and what a wonderful grand rising it is. I tell you what, great performance. Y'all done touched on everything, and I know you got to get along with the show. And I don't want to be redundant and repeat all y'all great comments. But I just want to leave y'all with this morning. As a person coming at the possibly worst time for a battery right now, as I'm trying to get my call in. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, just want to leave y'all with this. Come Saturday afternoon, I don't care if it's a thunderstorm, a dust storm, the red storm, or Halle Berry playing storm, Hawks by 5. Y'all guys have a great day.
All right, Sterling.
Glad to learn a round of applause, Sterling. That's there you go. He prepared that we got to find this clip. It's out there. We got to find this clip about the Drake game. in the Kendrick Lamar reference. I know you guys have been looking all day.
We've been looking all day.
But
I can't find it on Twitter. Can't find it anywhere.
They said it went viral. How can it go viral?
Apparently it didn't. Apparently it didn't.
That's a buzzword.
We have a different algorithm.
It was not on our For You page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not.
But Sterling, he prepared that much like the guy that called the end of the Drake game, and he said Drake couldn't beat Kendrick Lamar, but Drake has beaten Missouri in the NCAA tournament. And, for those of you who understand the reference, you understand the reference. And the Super Bowl halftime show. 877-377-6963. Breaking news. We go to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Chevy of Fayetteville, Arkansas's #1 Northwest Arkansas volume dealer. $15,000 off right now. The 25 Chevy Equinox EV, the Blazer EV. Truck months here. That means 25 Chevy Silverados up to $11,500 off. 25 Tahoes up to $12,500 in savings. Go see our friends Chris, Mark, Denver. Tell them we were talking about it on the Chuck and Bo Show, and you want to look at one of these great deals at Chevy of Fayetteville. And this breaking news. What is it in the Situation Room?
Yeah, this is from CBS Sports' John Rothstein. He's reporting that Adu Thero might play on Saturday if he practices today, per John Calipari.
I didn't think that was even remotely possible.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm surprised by that.
I will say that
it's
Rothstein has a relationship with Cal and
true.
guys on the staff. Like, he talks 100%. To them. He knows.
Thero's here. He looks to me like he's moving okay, but I'm certainly a layman. But he is here, and I'm going to tell you guys, winning is fun.
Ooh.
There's nothing more fun in sports than winning. And standing on the sidelines and watching is not nearly as much fun as being out there. And I think that if he plays, just like with Boogie Flan, that's going to have something to do with it.
Matt Zimmerman, Chuck's broadcast partner, longtime Razorback assistant, needs really no introduction. Joins us next on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I mean, I don't know if it's old or just like...
Well, the world's changing. It's like Bart said a little bit ago. When he summed it up with 2 words. I mean, things change.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This is Ruskin and Zach.
Graham, that says Todd Day was overrated. Shut up, Graham. Go take a lap. Run
Good
the West.
God.
Come on.
The takes today are just straight ass out of you people. Todd Day is overrated? Get out of here. This is exactly what's wrong with this place. Your all-time leading scorer in the history, no one scored more than him. Oh, he's overrated. It's Corliss. It's Sydney.
At AT&T, we can't guarantee you and your teammates being too connected.
ESPN 95.3.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed in a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen. Look for my double off prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
At Evans Body Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
They keep us posted at every stage. We get phone calls saying it's going to the paint shop or the parts have come in, and they've always just exceeded everything that we hope to have.
They do absolute fantastic work. Never have any complaints from anybody I know. My family has gone to them, my friends. I refer everybody I know to Evans Body Shop.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. James Teague with the Teague Law Firm is back for another season on Halftime, Fridays at 12:15. Sometimes families have disputes just like baseball teams. You need someone in your bullpen to help with guardianships, adoption, and child support. The Teague Law Firm is that go-to reliever, and they can help with criminal law such as traffic offenses, DWIs, and more. Call James and the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. Online at teague-law.com. The Teague Law Firm. If they can't help you, they'll talk baseball.
He struck him out swinging. Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I'm glad you brought that up, Chuck, because fortunately...
you upchucked it.
It just came out.
How did you...
Came up.
Well, here, another segment with Upchuck Chuck.
By the way, that's a clever retort. That Upchuck, I've never heard that.
Tell you what, yeah, well, it's the first time since we started this show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
So will Adu Thero play? Will the bug get him? The winning bug, you know, it has a way of curing some ails, and Boogie came back. I mean, you want to just dream a little bit today? You got all day Friday to watch games. Your team's not playing. You can just dream.
Hey, we're going to the Final Four. I mean, that's what people are thinking today. I know what people are saying.
We're battle-tested. We've played in this rugged SEC. We've faced all the adversity. We've gone on the longest scoring droughts in all of college basketball, figured out ways to win. Matt Zimmerman's ready. He's joining us now. He was next to Chuck, who was working to contain themselves more at the end of the game last night. Chuck or Z?
Definitely
Z,
Chuck.
Good morning. Yeah,
Definitely Chuck.
I don't believe that.
I was calm.
I don't believe that. You probably got in the handshake line.
I've done that before. No, I didn't do it. No, there wasn't nobody. I like Bill Self, all right, but there wasn't. I love Doc Sadler, but there wasn't anybody else I was even to shake hands with over there.
If they beat Patino, will you go shake hands with Patino?
No, definitely not. Nope. No reason to do that.
No reason to do that at all.
What did you think last night?
Well, it was Arkansas really at a high level of play. Kansas isn't bad. People kind of beating Kansas up. It's not been a good year at Kansas overall, but they're still well coached, and they still wanted to win. I just was so impressed with how we took two really good players in college basketball and made them look not very good. Hunter Dickinson, the last 30 minutes, didn't do anything. He struggled defensively, and he couldn't get anything going offensively, and he grew frustrated as the half went on. He said something to his teammates a couple times. He was not happy. And then DeJuan Harris, who's a good little guard, he played good in Bud Walton, kinda, but he had turnovers, and that's when Boogie had the 6 steals and really kind of took the ball from him a couple times. I thought we would see this much better version of Harris, and he really couldn't do anything. He had a hard time getting, and then when it got down to where they had a 3-point lead, huge turnover Harris, huge turnover Zeke Mayo, a really kind of a tough, difficult, probably a bad shot by A.J. Storr. All when they had a 3-point lead, a chance to go up 5. That was, to me, the most critical time. And then, Nelly hitting the right wing 3, that was huge. And then the third bit was we had to shoot 3 1-and-1s, and we made the front end, all 3 of those, and made the back end, all 3 of those. 1-and-1s are harder to shoot, much more pressure, and started with Jonas. And his free throw looked so good. And Jonas, Nelly, and DJ all hit 1-and-1s, and that's 6 for 6. And we made more free throws than Kansas even shot. And so it was a great win. It's always good. I'm happy for the Razorback fan base. Everybody can just bask in it. It's always good to beat Kansas. We're just our program's a little over Kansas right now. And I think the age of NIL and a lot of that has impacted the Blue Bloods a lot. And you can see that. You can see it in all of them. Really, Duke's the one that's hung in there the best of the Blue Bloods during this era so far. And but man, that was a fun game, and we had a lot of fun sitting there. Chuck and I get to be a part of it. It was awesome.
One of the things I love about Z, Chuck, is he's got the heart of a fan, but the mind of a basketball guy, having been a coach all these years. And so he's got this constant, tension in his filter and his analysis of his heart and his mind, because he knows the game. And so with your heart and your mind today, where is this team? And I've said this, Z, we often talk about the opponent. If you go over to the opponent's side and you look back at Arkansas, I don't think anybody really wants to play Arkansas right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. T.J. Cleveland, who played here at Arkansas as assistant at Wichita State, he's been, I still talk to him all the time, work with him for many years. He says that all the time. He's like, man, nobody's going to want to play Arkansas with all that talent and all that size and all that athletic ability. He said, you don't want to play Arkansas. And that's definitely true. That no one does. I mean, you could see it and listen to it in Rick Pitino in his press conference last night, where he talked about we haven't faced anybody like that with this kind of size and the way that they do things and how long they are and how athletic they are. They've not seen that in the Big East. And I think the Big East was a good league. It always is a good league, but it wasn't the SEC. And they had a great record. They won a lot of games. But I do think people look at Arkansas, and it's a very, very tough challenge. You look at Texas Tech, a nice team. They've had a good season. I don't know if there's anybody at Texas Tech, maybe one guy or two that you would trade for any of our top 9 guys. And it's the same way Chuck and I were talking about that, like with Vanderbilt. They had a good season. They didn't have one player that you would trade our 8th, 9th or guy for. They really didn't. And that's not against them. That's just the reality of the talent of these 9 guys. And it is a very, very talented Arkansas team. It was a little disappointing regular season. It was good enough to get us in a tournament, but we went 8-10. I'm not ever going to tell you that that's good enough or that that's great. But you might win a national championship, as you guys were just talking about, or a Final Four. You very well can, because you've got this extremely talented team, and the injuries kind of hurt us throughout the season. And I don't think anyone thought this team would lose 13 games, but at the same time, you still got a chance to make it a tremendous season with a great run in the NCAA tournament.
Z, Chuck's sitting here listening, as he always does to you. And I know he's letting me talk to you because you guys are tired of talking to each other. And I was disappointed that
we've been together for about 10 days in a row.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that you're not in his room right now doing the interview, like right next to him. We had a text wondering if that would happen, and I assured the texter that would not happen. And not
Z's
because
in his own room.
not
He's in
because
his
you
own room.
wouldn't do it, Z, but because Chuck, that's Chuck territory. And
Yeah, well, no, I'm already dry. I'm showered. I got my sweats on. I'm ready to go eat breakfast. I'm all fired up. Chuck's in there. He's butt ass naked in there in his room. So I'm not going in there. I am not going in there. Staying away from that deal.
I can assure you, as he's live here on the video stream, he is not.
At least from the waist up, everything's
At least
good,
from
man.
the waist up, we're good. I will tell you that I don't ever look at that screen during the breaks because I don't want any accidents
we have a graphic.
to occur. Edward puts up a graphic, and everybody just sort of puts their head down, and then we come back after the break. All right.
That's great.
What
That's
about
awesome.
St. John's? Tell me about this matchup if we can kind of move our mind to there. Tell me about this matchup with St. John's.
Yeah, probably what you guys have been talking about all morning. Anybody that watched the game, and I've seen maybe a half a dozen of their games on TV, and just every time they come across, they play really hard. They're gritty. They're tough. For their size, they're not real big, but for their size, they play very physical. They try to hit you. They foul a lot. How the game's called will be really important for both teams and how they let it go. But they've got a good team. They struggled a little bit with Omaha for a while, and they were up 5 at half. In the second half, they kind of went to work. But I look at them, Omaha, for a good part of the game, had more points in the paint than St. John's did. And then St. John's ended up taking that over in later in the game in the second half with their run. I don't know how they're going to score much in the paint with their size. Now, they drive that ball now. They're good at driving it, but I think they'll have a hard time finishing, just like Hunter Dickinson had a hard time, just like K.J. Adams had a little bit of a hard time. Now, DeJuan Harris Jr. had a hard time. Those guys had a hard time finishing over the Razorbacks, and I just don't know how they're going to do it. I like Kadary Richmond. He's a nice, good-sized guard. He can rebound. He's a pretty good passer. He doesn't shoot it great, but he's a good player. He only had 10 points against Omaha, but I kind of like how he plays. And then Wilshire, he made 3 out of 6 threes. His numbers aren't. There's been times he's really struggled to shoot. He's another guard. He'll be wearing number 7. He's pretty good. But the one I liked was this R.J. Lewis Jr. And he was very good. And he hit 5 threes in the game against Omaha. I think he only played like 25, 26 minutes. And he's pretty good. He's a guy that will have to.
He's a Big East Player of the Year. He's a Big East Player of the Year, so he's a good player.
No, he's a good player. And I was talking to Coach Payne about him last night, and he'll be wearing number 12. And I was talking to Coach Payne, and he had him committed at one time, or felt like he was going to get him when he was the head coach at Louisville. And so he'd had a stop through UMass, and he was really saying that he's a good player. And so he had a great season for them, and they win all these games, and they were good. Their size isn't real big. They're not super long. They don't have any 7'2", 6'11" guys that play a lot for them like what we do. So it'll be interesting how they impact our, go against our size and what they try to do. I don't think they can press us. There's games this year they didn't press any, and then there was times that they were getting after people pressing. So I think Pitino looks at it as I never considered him a pressing coach. He had that reputation. When we coached against him when he was in Louisville, we did it every year for several years. They would trap maybe the first pass, or they would get after it a little bit, and then once you made a release pass, they all just ran back down the floor. But they may try to press us, but that would be great with DJ and Nelly, Boogie. Those guys would I think they would like to get pressed actually, and so I think St. John's is probably better just getting in the half court, man to man, and getting gritty, getting tough, and getting hard nosed, and trying to get stops. They're going to want a lower scoring game. And the more it can get up tempo, the quicker we can get out in transition, that'll help us. And if it's like 79-72, like Kansas game, that helps us. To me, that's how I look at it. I wouldn't want it to be, 61 to 60. I think that leans more to what St. John's wants to do.
Z, thanks. Enjoy your coffee this morning. Chuck will be down there in a bit. You guys can kind of get your game plan together for Friday night. Chuck promised us early in the week. He's like, look, I haven't given you guys anything. I haven't been out, been at Denny's twice. I haven't really seen the city, eaten any Italian food, but if the Hogs win, Friday night could be epic. So I hope you guys can, maybe find your way out to a 4 o'clock dinner this afternoon. I don't know what the schedule is, but
early buffet.
The buffet somewhere, near the assisted living center. Y'all have a great time. Keep an eye on them for us. Thanks for hopping on and enjoy the day.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Great weekend.
Good stuff, Matt. Thanks.
See you after a while.
Matt Zimmerman.
One thing before we move on here, he was talking about their size. They're going to start 6'9", 6'7", 6'7" up front. Arkansas, just with Adu and Brazil, 6'11", 6'10". So there's going to be a length advantage there. Hey, we love talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we love talking about people that take care of others. And, that's one of the things that perhaps they do better than anything else is they treat you like your family. They treat you like you're the rock star. And, man, I'll tell you, when you partner with an agent from Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, when the process is done, whether you buy or sell, you're going to be glad that they were in your corner. Real estate professionals, 365 days a year. And it doesn't matter which side of the table you're on. They're going to represent you. They've done it for us. And I can assure you they'll do it for you as well. They're in Northwest Arkansas, Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
I think of expertise, professionalism, and unmatched customer service when I think of our friends at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Back in a minute, the Chuck and Bo Show, 8:47, Friday, day 2 of the NCAA tournament. If I didn't have you and Bart and Edward to lean on, where would I be? And I think about other people that don't have that.
That's what we do. We lift each other up.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations, and stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Shirley's Tax Service has been serving the River Valley for 49 years and has won the Times record Best of the Best 8 years running. Shirley's is in the top 2% of independent tax offices nationwide. Shirley's takes pride in providing superior service at a price a working person can afford. Shirley's has 6 locations, now open in Ozark. So if you're looking for the best, fast, friendly, professional service in town at a price a working person can afford, call Shirley's Tax Service today, 922-1040. That's 922-1040.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
After a while, you realize that there's certain people you just can't argue with. I mean, you just can't.
Well, I mean, we're all
like that. We're all cut from that cloth.
The best part about an argument is when you're the smart one and whoever's on the other side is clearly not.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Chuck, remember a few weeks ago when we were getting calls that I've moved on to baseball season. We've gone 3 hours today, and I feel obligated to tell you this because we haven't gotten to it yet, and I actually feel bad about it. The Hogs play South Carolina in SEC play at Baum-Walker Stadium tonight at 6:30.
It's a big series.
But if you were one of these people that said you moved on, you lied.
Yeah.
You just thought you had.
I don't know that there's anything that brings Razorback fans together like a run in the NCAA basketball tournament. I've seen it so many times. I mean, it is everybody feels good across the state right now. That's pretty awesome.
People still asking, as they hop on, different points throughout the day. What time's the game on Saturday? 1:40, Saturday, CBS. Cal and Patino.
Afternoon game.
Standalone game.
Great day for a Yingling and an afternoon game. I'm getting texts from our friends at Weichert. They're going to be at the baseball game. Got a box set up watching the basketball game on TV, watching the baseball game in person. What a weekend.
The only place better would be like a Buffalo Wild Wings in Lexington. Watching Cal play Patino. Would that not be awesome?
Kentucky Sports Bar.
Just sit there and eavesdrop.
The Kentucky Sports Bar.
And eavesdrop.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It'd be so awesome.
Somebody in Kentucky, it's a Razorback fan, needs to get us some video of Troy beating Kentucky tonight.
Priceless.
And send that to us, and we'll post it on social. I mean, look, it's time to stay. What Chuck say? Paybacks or what?
Paybacks are hell.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been fun. Enjoy this ride, be in the moment. Got all day to watch games. What's your favorite game on today, Bart?
Ole Miss, North Carolina. Really interested to watch
What
that
time?
game. That one is 3:05 on TNT.
UConn and Oklahoma play tonight. Another SEC game to look out
The
for.
Troy Trojans,
Yeah,
baby.
Kentucky and Troy at 6:10.
Let's go, Troy.
On CBS. For all of us at the Chuck and Bo Show, enjoy the tournament and have a great, safe weekend.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both